The LS FRS has been treating me very well, except for the axle issues. I didn't know that if you lower this car, it's not even that low. I mean, I guess maybe, but if you lower this car, it pulls axles right out. So I'm actually popped 2 axles yesterday, and luckily I bought the only 2 that O'Reilly's had. So gonna swap the other one and get some driving done today. All right, I'm gonna take y'all with me. You can see the axle, the shaft, and the CV. And one of these things should have been moving, but it's not. So this is what happens when you lower an FRS, but you don't raise the subframe or the differential. The suspension geometry gets messed up, and you need to correct for it somehow. Unfortunately, PBM is out of stock for the bushings and stuff, and to be honest, I don't really want to do that. I think I'm gonna try to rig something together with IS300 axles, because I know they go right into this diff, and yeah, well, we'll see. We'll get to it. Now we gotta pop this axle out and put our other brand new one in. Okay, we got both of our bad axles out. I have another new one, but they're really expensive from the local store. So I'm gonna try to see if I have enough parts in both of these to maybe put one together, raise my car, and go and slide for Sunday at least. All right. All right. So we got balls, shredded cradle. That's fun. I was hoping at least one of those was alive. Balls, balls, balls. Lots of balls. Yeah, it really sucks. These shafts are so beefy, and this, like look at this. This is awesome. If only if it was just a little bit longer, right? This too looks like broken cradle. More cradle pieces. Yeah, gross. More grease and more cradle. And balls. Can't forget the balls. One more. And that's it. Well, I was hoping that maybe I could salvage this and then not have to use the other like $120 axle, but this is not gonna fly. So we gotta use our other brand new axle and then raise our car up so this doesn't happen again, because I'm kind of tired of playing around breaking axles with absolutely no power. Just got done with my monster truck. So far the axles are holding up. This thing just shreds tires. My wife's inside the car. What'd you think about the new setup? Oh wow, you're so not camera shy. That's awesome. This is where I debeated the first night. It still holds air really well, so it's still a steer tire for now. And then smoked 2 cones. They're not doing a really good job of putting cones back into place, so these were casualties. This splitter I thought was indestructible. It's very destructible, but it saved my bumper, which is really the big ticket item. And this is where I patched it already, so. And here's the crown jewel of this turd nugget. So we're gonna change some tires and we're gonna go back out there. Okay. I have these old steer tires that I used before, and well, they're tiny, first of all. 225s stretched onto like 9.5-inch wheel. But really the reason we're using them is because they're really cambered out, and one time I let them get too flat and that happened. So they're no good for steer tires. Oh, and I guess I picked up a nail too. That's cool. That's probably why I was leaking. Dang. Anyway, so we're gonna mount these up. With that ride height, this is gonna look dumb, but we'll go and get it. So this is what we're working with now. Yeah. But if we're gonna keep axles, that's what we're gonna have to do. Let's add some more water and let's go. All right. All right. Well, we are back home, and all proving grounds was a success. The car did really well. Considering everything, this was the first time I was out with the car ever, really. So it got some damage. It got beat up a little bit. Those cones at proving grounds look innocent, but they got hands. They took out my splitter. But all in all, this car felt amazing. I'll never go back to a 350Z, maybe an LS swap C, but this isn't even like an impressive LS. This is a bone stock 5.3 out of an Avalanche. It's gross. I mean, it still has rusty water in the block, but it just ate whatever I threw at it, and I had so much fun. We'll do kind of like a more in-depth on kind of like how we got here, but I just wanted to go over some of the damage that you can expect at proving grounds. So, well, first of all, before we get into that, I wanted to show off these super beefy tie rod ends that I put in. So FRS's BRZs, there's so much meat on there, you don't actually have to like cut and weld. You can just drill a new hole for the pickup for the tie rod and have modified knuckles. But with extended control arm and everything, you kind of run out of tie rod. Even with the EV455 tie rod, inner tie rods, I was still having some issues. So these are actually Odyssey tie rods. They're quite a bit beefier. I don't know if you can see, they're actually bigger than my ball joints. So those are solid. The car never felt loosey-goosey or anything like that. It was planted. It did everything I wanted it to do, and it was awesome. I wanted to put these smaller adapter spacers up front to kind of get rid of some of my camber. It's a little bit aggressive right now, and it's actually eating away the tire pretty aggressively. But this was awesome. These Ironmans on like 25 psi did great. They debeated once because of that one really big bump at around the keyhole, but that was fine. Just bumped them up a little bit more and tried to avoid that bump as much as possible. So the rest of the car, body wise, everything was fine. I just started to take off my splitter because I think we're gonna run without it for a little while. So the other mechanical issues that we had that I did record, axles. This is my axle graveyard right here. I've ate up 2, or I've ate up 3 at this point, and I'm gonna try really hard to come up with a solution, because this is no fun. Gotta fix this somehow, either with a spacer or maybe try to rig something together from an IS300 axle. But something's gonna happen here, because currently my quick fix was raising the car up, so it's just monster truck in the back, and it's really annoying. The other issue, so I did not know that these T56s need to be sealed. So when I put everything together, I just kind of slapped it together. There was an O-ring there, and I was like, that will work. It doesn't. It needs RTV, and actually, if you see that, glop of red RTV, there's the piece underneath it needs to be sealed as well, and mine was leaking from both areas. So I actually pushed out quite a bit of fluid, and I noticed it on Friday, so I resealed it, but it kept leaking fluid the rest of the weekend, and I should have been topping it off. I should have assumed, but I didn't. I just kept driving it and kept beating on it and kept ripping third all weekend long. So now when I start the car and I let go of the clutch, there's a pretty distinct whine. So I think it should be the input shaft bearing. Seems like that's the first one to go, but there's no way to really confirm that. I know it's in the transmission. There's this is the fluid that I poured out, and I mean, it's not shiny. There's definitely something there. So the transmission is hurt. At this point, I haven't decided if we're just gonna maybe put fresh fluid in it and let it whine for the rest of the year, and then rebuild it over winter, or start rebuilding it now. I can tell you I really don't want to rebuild it right now. I would rather drive this car and rebuild it later, but I haven't talked to anybody that actually knows what they're doing with these T56s, so we'll see. The other big change, Saturday morning, my friends bullied me enough to have me get rid of the stock muffler, and they kept making fun of me that, my car sounds like a vacuum cleaner, your car sounds like a Prius. So I put on just a little blast pipe. I think it's just like a Burke muffler delete, and well, car sounds awesome. I don't know why I kept putting it off, but man, yeah, car sounds great. So that's it for now. Sorry about I just realized how hazy that lens was. Just cleaned it up. It's way later in the night. I am plugging away at that LS1 because I figured if I'm gonna be pulling out the drivetrain, I might as well put in the spicy engine, not this gross 5.3 again. So haven't decided yet, but it looks like some people have reached out to me that know a thing or two about the T56s. So I think we're gonna get a game plan the next few days. All right, bye, till next time.